Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Shilajit. How are you?
Hello, Sayak. Yes, I am doing very good. We are having some huge sporting action. I think over the last few days and in the next few days as well. So yeah, uh, so we cannot do better, right? So we are in the
Absolutely.
heat of yeah.
Absolutely. And thank you so much once again for joining in. And the reason we discussed and we were in conversation from the morning, right? What a fantastic morning it has been. I mean, we woke up to a terrific cricket match and we
Absolutely.
slept to
Yeah.
another humdinger of a match in Euro. So I have posted this in my Facebook account as well, that it's a once in a lifetime opportunity that we are getting to sleep watching Kevin De Bruyne, and we are waking up to Gulbadin live. I mean, this is
That's
almost
true.
a
Yeah.
wet dream, right? I mean,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Absolutely.
So
Mhm.
I hope you. I mean, I know what a sport enthusiast you are, so you are making full use of this opportunity for the last few weeks.
Absolutely. Yes. And a lot of action is going to come as well. Okay, and now we are okay, so moving into the action area of actually both the tournaments. Yeah, we are following. Yeah,
Business
so
end, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
business end. Yeah, absolutely. Mhm.
And one more thing that I was again what I was looking at is that it is unbelievable that the way that, so right now, even though we are in the second stage of the World Cup in cricket, it's still a group league format. So effectively we have 8 different groups across the two competitions, 6 in Euro and 2 in cricket World Cup.
Mhm.
And unbelievably, for a 12-hour window, we are at a point where we are seeing every team has played 2 matches each, and all of them has their last match left.
Yes. Yeah,
So
so we are.
unbelievable
Yeah,
coincidence.
so we are in the humdinger at the moment. Okay, so everything is hanging
Absolutely.
in balance. Okay, and we have the next few hours for anticipation, and of course we have less than 3 hours to actually set up our yeah means our yeah so the fantasy league, or which you are also making us play. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I think the Euro fantasy, if you're pointing to that, so that's 12:30 at night for us, right? So we have some time
Oh, yes,
because
the 6:30 matches
yeah.
are over. Oh,
No,
absolutely, yes,
6:30
yes.
matches are over for today. Even we don't have 9:30 as well, because
9:30.
both the matches start at 12:30. So
Of
you
course,
have
so we
some
have some
breathing
time.
space.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. Of course. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Shilajit. So I think we have already set the context. We have a couple of viewers watching us as well. But very what we wanted to discuss, and I wanted to keep this format very simple. I have combined Euro and T20 World Cup. We, like I said, there are 8 groups. We will go group by group, look at the current state of play in each and every group, and then just try to discuss and analyze from a fan's point of view that what are the lip smacking possibilities that await us. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so I hope that's okay. And if you are good to go, then we can probably get started with UEFA Euro first, and then probably
Yeah, sure.
finish on a high with cricket T20.
Let us absolutely. And yes, and I think so we might be talking about what we know is likely to happen, and also what we want to happen, right? So there
Absolutely.
are two possibilities in
that's
each
that's
scenario.
always there in a fans discussion, right?
Yes,
and
yes, yes, yes.
and
Yeah.
and for the viewers, let me just tell you, although I am following Euro from a neutral perspective, I have a soft corner for England, having watched English Premier League for so many years now. But Shilajit is a hardcore Espanyol fan, right? And he is following the tournament uh, very, very religiously. He's a Spain diehard fan, and from that perspective, Shilajit would give us greater insights onto Spain's journey so far and the
Hopefully.
way ahead. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay then, Shilajit, let's get started. I think I have just made up a quick uh, deck to have a
Mhm.
reference point in terms of our discussion, and
Ooh.
with that in mind, I have this is the first thing that we want to talk about. So it's basically talking about the UEFA Euro Group A, how things are poised at the moment, where the different teams are, what are the matches remaining, and some key points. So in Group A, as we can see in this screen, probably Shilajit, that Germany is one of the few teams that have already secured their spot for the next round. And but even if they have done so, I think it's not yet fixed that whether they will finish on the top spot. And there are a few other teams that's nobody's dead yet, to put it as
Mhm.
simple as that. So what do you see, how do you see group A as, and what's your point of view?
Yes. So I think you started by telling that we have some lip smacking okay possibilities here, and I think we have started yeah, means we have started our group with that. Yeah, because in group A, the match which is remaining, it would feature number one versus two. Okay, so it's going to be Germany versus Switzerland, to decide who is going to end up on one. And of course, no team would like to lose its winning momentum. And if they don't
Absolutely.
have a winning momentum, they would like to enter knockout in in some sort of momentum, right? So it is a huge match. Germany are the home team as well, and as we have seen in the past, uh, the German crowd, they always like to see some more competition than other nations would like to see. I do remember before the 2006 World Cup. Okay, there
Yeah.
FIFA had conducted a quiz on who uh, the audience would like to see win the World Cup and who they would definitely not want to see. And in the second category, everybody had voted for Germany, even though they were the host nations. Okay,
Oh, is it?
yes, yes, yes. So they had, yeah, yeah. So there was a poll there, and the winner for the question where nobody would like to see that team win, it was
Was Germany?
Deutschland. Yeah, it
My
was.
goodness. Okay.
Okay, okay. So now again we are back in the land of Munich. Okay, and I know that it's a home game, but yeah, but be assured that Switzerland are going to have a lot of support, and
Yeah.
if they play well, they are going to receive a lot of applause from the home crowd as well. Okay, so that's a huge match which is coming up. And of course, Hungary
Absolutely.
on the other part, they have not won yet, so they are not in contention to be in the
Top two
top four
probably.
third place team. But as you have mentioned that even the best third team at the moment is on 3 points, and Hungary, they
Correct.
do have the chance to go to three. Okay, so everybody is in contention, and I think we don't have uh, a lot of groups. Okay, with those possibilities, so actually both the matches here are going to be very uh, ardently followed, I think, by everyone who is following
Absolutely,
this.
and this is something that I love about football tournaments. I mean, even FIFA does it, even UEFA is doing it. That the last two league games are played simultaneously, so there's
That's a very
always
good.
that sense of anticipation in the air. That okay, what's happening in the other game, as along with what's happening in your own game, right? So I think last Euro we had seen a visual of Denmark finishing their game, and then the entire team huddling together and looking at one of the football scoring apps to see that what happened in the other match, so that they know that they qualified or not. So
Yeah, what they are doing.
unbelievable
Yeah.
scenes. So
Yes.
that's absolutely
Football
there,
has
and
that.
I think absolutely. And with Scotland, Hungary, Switzerland, Germany, I think, like we are mentioning, that the best part is that everyone is in contention. Although, given the form, you would think the Germany start as favorites against Switzerland, and similarly, Scotland start as favorites against Hungary. But I think the difference between the two teams, especially Scotland, Hungary, is not huge. So you would not be surprised in case Hungary manages to pull off a heist and then eventually goes through to the next round. So that's there.
Absolutely.
So
Yes, yes, yes,
uh,
yes.
that is how I look at this particular group, and that's how I feel that it's so wonderfully poised that it's beautiful to look forward to tonight when the two matches get underway.
Yes, and there is one more angle which I would like to point out, and that is that Germany have qualified, but Switzerland have not. So even though Germany go into the match to look whether they finish first or second, Switzerland,
Right.
they play to ensure that they stay in Germany, right, for their waffles, and they don't go back to their own home Swiss chocolates, right? So they still have, yeah, so they still have to ensure that they go to the next round. But I think being means already on 4 points, even if they lose, they might be among the
Still.
best top threes. Okay, but still they would like to qualify. But seeing Portugal in 2016, maybe some teams would like to finish third, so they know that there's a chance that from there they can go on a dream run like Portugal did, right?
Absolutely. But another point is that probably, since I mean whoever finishes on third, I think faces a stronger opposition, because most probably, because I was just looking at the draw, most probably the team that finishes third over here faces Spain in case they
Yes,
qualify.
yes, yes, yes,
So
yes,
that would obviously be a much more tougher match, compared to if you are facing a runners up from another group.
yeah.
So
So
all those equations in mind, everything to play for.
yeah. So then, if those possibilities are there, that would mean that if you are second, you will also face a first team. If you are third, also
Absolutely.
you will face. So you will face one of the top teams.
So
Okay.
so I think
So
in
better
this
be
group,
first.
and I'm taking the liberty of looking at SofaScore right now. So basically, what I see is that 2A faces 2B. Okay, so basically second from Group B. But 3A, if they qualify, faces Spain, which is I think 1
Okay,
E or
okay. Two
E.
A face two B. That is very interesting, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay,
that's how
yeah,
the
because
draw
there is
is.
C's also. Yeah, there are three also in contention.
Yeah,
So here it is not as straightforward at one place two.
but not as straightforward. Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
if you
So
are two A versus
multiple.
two B, then you won't mind finishing second. I would hope.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, fantastic. So, but just to put you in the spot, and I will do this regularly. In
Okay.
case you have to pick two, then
Huh.
what would you be? You would consider that Germany would probably prevail over Switzerland. I think that's a fair call, reasonable call.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So yeah. So there, I would think that Germany would win. Yeah, but if you ask me what I want to see, of course, you might know my answer. I would really love to see Germany lose this match. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that they lose some momentum, because at the moment they are playing some fantastic football, right? So I would
true.
want to see
And
them lose,
I'm
okay,
in
because their young
I'm in love
midfield
with what
is very
I
good.
have seen of Musiala. Yeah, I mean it's a lovely young kid, and fantastic to see him play. I mean, beautiful ball play and things. But okay, just not to digress. For the second one, Scotland Hungary, I feel Scotland would have the edge, considering that they lost their first match, but they managed to hold on to Switzerland. So probably momentum with their side, and also they have a few big names. Do you have a different take, or do you also think same?
Here I think it yeah means it is rather close. Okay, so Hungary, so they will be fancying their chances, I would assume. Okay, and so they would be glad that, yeah, as part of their last match, they are not playing Germany, so that they can still be in play. And if you see the three opponents, I think if you would have asked Hungary the team they would have wanted to face last, it would have been Scotland. So if I was a Hungarian, I would I would be
Probably not.
quietly
Happy
enthusiastic
than
about
sad.
this match. Yeah, 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 yeah. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I would be hoping that we win. Yeah, so that we can go on to the next round. Yeah, so it is
Perfect.
very very close. But yeah, but since you have asked me who is going to win, means if you have picked Scotland, then let me go with Hungary. Yeah, because I'm seeing that I'm seeing that they are they are not playing a bad brand of football. Okay, they are doing good. Yeah, but they have faced Germany and Switzerland, right? So it must have been tough for them.
Difficult opposition.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Okay, Shilajit, I think let's wrap up Group A, and then we can probably
absolutely.
quickly move on to Group B and see
Sure.
what's in store for us.
Oh
Okay, so
yes.
this is your group
Yeah.
that you are ardently following. I know that you have watched both of Spain's matches with dedication.
Oh yes,
So
absolutely.
and Spain has duly rewarded you with six invaluable points. And over here, so Spain versus Albania is what remains. So Albania is at 1 point. I see Spain obviously has qualified on six, but the more spicy, mouth-watering clash is Italy versus Croatia, right? Defending
Absolutely.
champions, probably in a little bit sticky grounds, having lost against Spain in the last match, and Croatia again World Cup semi-finalists, but not off to their best starts. I think only 1 point from two matches. So first, let's talk about Italy and Croatia. I know you would be
Hmm.
inching to go to Spain, but let's wind off
Yeah.
Italy
Uh,
Croatia.
yeah. So I was about to mention to you that in case we watch both these matches in parallel, okay, and we have to watch one on TV, one on phone, I would have
Yeah,
to say that Italy match will be on my TV, right? Because this is
absolutely.
this is the huge billing match. So we can be a bit surprised seeing Croatia at number 4. Okay, because the match they lost against Spain, that would have hurt them. They lost it 3-0. But against Albania, if you draw, okay, that is not a very good look. But we can never count them out. And out of Italy and Croatia, I feel that Croatia would be more desperate because Italy are already on 3 points, so they know that they have that springboard, or as a cushion, that even if they lose, they have that third place in contention. Okay, okay, but Croatia are at 1 point, and they are facing the toughest opponent possible, I think, for the last match, because Italy, they are known to not concede goal. Even Spain were not able to score one past them. It was an own goal in the match, right? Okay, so
Absolutely.
so here Croatia would know that to reach 4 points, they would need to score one or two goals in the match, and that is going to be really, really tough versus Italy. We know how their defense has been over the years, so it's a mouth-watering contest. So yeah, we are going to have
Absolutely.
all our eyes on this, and it is very tough to pick a winner, and there is a chance of drawing the match as well. So if Italy feel that they might be slipping up, okay, then actually
They
they
might
might
park
go back
the
to the
bus.
same place. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So park the buses for Chelsea, I think. Okay, but Italy are very, very good. So they
Yeah, but
are naturally
Italy
very
are
good.
the
Yeah.
pioneers. I mean, we have grown up to seeing the likes of Maldini and Nesta and so on, right? So they are the pioneers of. And when I remember in my childhood days, we used to always think, like you rightly mentioned, that Italy is the i- i- defense team that defends and grinds out 1-0 results and so on, right? So though that kind of a team, so do you think, I mean, so for Croatia, obviously it is a very difficult match to get to the last match with the
Mhm.
defending champions, but I think from Italy's perspective, they would probably know that even if they get onto 4 or 3, uh, they would probably sail through, considering that in some groups 3 teams would go through. So, do you think that would probably influence the way they play, considering even Croatia is a handful?
Yes, so here Italy means I would be very surprised if I see them opening their back line to go for the attack. Okay, means they having the attacking full backs and having their center backs up near the half line. Means I don't think that's going to happen, because they might be they might want to go for the win, but what they certainly won't want is to lose. Okay,
Is
so
to
they are
lose,
going to,
absolutely.
so they are going to be very tough to beat for Croatia. And I think if Italy scored first in the match, I think it's over. Okay,
It's
so
over for Croatia.
so they won't let Croatia go past them. So the more interesting thing would be if Croatia scored first, right? Okay, so that as a
Absolutely. Then that
neutral
opens up the match completely.
opens up the match.
Absolutely.
Like you
And
and I, we always talk, right? So how will
yeah,
a
yeah,
match open?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Correct. And to be very honest, from Italy's perspective, you would not want that, because you know that probably in the other game Spain is more likely to beat Albania. So anyway, they would not fancy probably to get into the top spot. So they would know that even a draw would earn them the second spot anyway, because they would probably finish on fourth then, and with 4 points you finish on second. So a very tactical situation, but would be fascinating to see how Italy approach the game. Okay, but having said that, let's come to Spain. I mean, the team that you admire, they have been phenomenal in the last 2 matches. I was absolutely amazed the way they carried themselves in the park in the match in against Croatia in the 3-0 win. So, what is your takeaway? How do you like the look of Spain so far?
I think what Spain would like to end the group is with another actually clean sheet, so that they ensure that they have not considered a goal. And I think what we can expect out of this match is for Spain to have 75% of the ball, right, of the possession. But we cannot count out Albania, because if you see here, they are very much in contention. So in
Absolutely.
Group A, even though Hungary had 0 points, we are telling it's all open.
Correct.
Here it is
Correct.
also pretty much open. Okay, so here
Absolutely.
the only thing which is good is Spain is secured the first spot, because even if there is a tie on points, I think that the head-to-head
Hold it.
winner actually they go up.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. So
after that it is a
that's the
goal
higher
difference.
tie
Yeah,
break.
so yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I did that homework just a few minutes back. Okay, so it
Perfect.
is
Yeah.
head-to-head
Yeah.
and then goal difference and then goals for. Okay, so these are the three.
Brilliant.
Okay, so
Okay.
tiebreakers.
So
Okay, so
that
they
means it's a
Spain are
secured
first.
top spot.
Yeah, but here I think Spain, we know that they can be slightly vulnerable at the back. I think Kukurea has been very good, but then we have El Venemo, yeah, yeah. So they are, yeah, yeah. So they are that, yeah. So or this El Normandy, I don't remember what that guy's name is. Okay, but it's
Yeah.
yeah, but it is slightly susceptible. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
but do Albania have the strength? So what? Yeah, so what actually they would be riding on is their draw versus Croatia. Okay, so they know that they can hold on to teams. So if they can hold on to World Cup finalist, okay, they, yeah, so they might fancy themselves to actually go past a world champion. Okay, so that would be good to see, but it is going to be nowhere near the other matching group B.
True, true, absolutely. I mean, the other match is obviously a more of a heavyweight clash, but even Spain versus Albania would be fascinating to watch because Albania clearly, I mean, the match against Croatia, they clearly punched above their weight, and they would have nothing to lose. Especially, I mean, they are probably, I don't know how whether they have featured in Euros earlier or not, but they know. I mean, Spain, a previous former Euro champion, world champion, they would be absolutely pumped up going into the game, match of their lives probably, and
Yes, absolutely, yes, yeah. Mhm.
they would want to come out and show the entire world what they are capable of.
So
Brilliant. Okay.
so since you have mentioned this, I just got a thought that had it been India here in Spain instead of Albania, I think we would have been very happy that we are going to face Spain, Italy, and Croatia before going home. Right. So I think I'm sure even they would be of that thought that at least we are playing the big
Yeah.
matches and there's a chance that they might go to the next round as well.
Absolutely nothing to lose, right? I mean, whatever, nobody is expecting them to win. If you do, if you do, I mean, if you do, you do great. That would be the thought process. Always a
That's
great place to start a match from. uh
maybe.
Fantastic. Okay, so anything else that you see in this group? Any key duels? I think we talked about Spain qualifying, difficult for Croatia. I think a major thing would be in case, I think two things that I see over here in terms of possibilities. It would be an upset if Italy probably defeats Croatia, then we are probably staring at Croatia not even qualifying for the next round. And I think that
Mhm.
would be an upset of sorts. And the other
After one of
possibility
the
that
group.
I
Yeah. Mhm.
upset of the group, yeah. And the other possibility that I can think of is probably in case Albania manages to pull off something against Spain, then nobody would have thought that Albania could progress from this group. I mean, this is the ultimate group of death, right? And
Absolutely.
if by chance they manage to scrape through, that would be a story of the tournament.
Yes, absolutely. So Albania know that they can straight away do something which is going to be absolutely historic, because for Spain, Italy, and Croatia, it was the group of death. But for Albania, they were already considered dead coming in.
Dead.
Okay, okay, because they are the fourth team, but still they have a chance. And if they go to, yeah, 4 points, there's a slight chance that they might go into the next round. Even if they end on 2 points, there is some chance maybe. Okay, so so with the third team in contention, so you're never out of the game. But I think here Croatia would be coming in all guns blazing. Okay, so that is the match to watch out for. Yeah,
That is the match to watch. Absolutely. Agreed. Okay, let's move on, Shilajit. Probably we move on to the next one,
of
which
course, of
is
course.
Group C.
Oh,
Okay, so this is the one which
yeah.
involves one of my favorites, England. I think I was very disappointed the way they played out that game against Denmark. But this is a group that no one has qualified, no one is eliminated. Uh, Two very enticing matches to play, England versus Slovenia and Denmark versus Serbia. England is at the top at the moment, Serbia at the rock bottom with 1 point. But what do you make of this group?
So here, Sayak, I would like to start off with something which you really like to do. Okay, and
Yeah.
that is the gap between the first and the last team. Okay, so
Yeah,
in group A it is 6 minus 0. In group B it is 6 minus 1. But yeah, but just have a look here. It is a really, really close group. Okay, 4 minus 1,
absolutely.
3. And what I'm seeing from your chart here is the last two matches in this group were drawn. Okay, so it is DDDD
Yeah,
at the end. Okay, so it was all drawn.
yeah.
Everybody is in contention. Okay, and England, they are the champion team. It means they have the champion players, but they never play like champions. Okay, so
Potentially, at least. Yeah, they are
yeah,
always
yeah, yes.
potential champions.
Yeah, but I feel here that Denmark versus Serbia is going to be a war. Okay, so Serbians are also Nordic kind of Vikings. Okay, then Denmark is also from there. Okay, so in fact, Denmark are the Vikings, Serbians are the Soviets, right? So okay, so it's going to
Yeah,
be a war out there. It's going to be a hugely exciting match just to watch for a neutral. It might end up with 0-0. Okay, but we might see a couple of red cards.
very.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's going to be fun. England versus Slovenia with Southgate. I think they are going to do a lot of back passes over the match and then
Yeah,
maybe eventually win 1-0. Who knows? But they have some exciting. So if they are able to unlock their players, you have Foden, you have Bellingham, you have Kane up front. If you're able to unlock the squad,
Saka.
then maybe yeah, we have the potential to see a 6-0 as well. Right? But what do you feel?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, I was the other day when I was watching England play at the 70th minute, I think there was a substitution that took place, and triple substitution. Okay. And in that triple substitution, Southgate changed the entire forward line. I mean, they had started off with Foden, Kane, and Saka, and they changed to, I think, Jared Bowen, then Ollie Watkins, and who's the other one? The third one was Eze, Eberich Eze. So the Crystal
Yeah,
Palace, yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Crystal Palace winger. So unbelievable. I mean, the amount of potential, the amount of talent that England has back in their ranks. They have left out players like James Madison, who I'm a huge fan of. So unbelievable. I mean, last time they had Sancho and Jack Grealish. This time they do not have him. They do not have a place for Rashford. They're not playing with a conventional DM. I think the defensive midfield slot, two of them. I think one, Alexander Arnold, is playing one of the slots. So a lot of things going around in the English side. But like you said very correctly, that it is a team that is capable of giving a thrashing to Slovenia on their day. We have seen England do this in the last couple of major international tournaments. Hopefully, they turn up and wake up from the right side of the bed and probably do that, secure the job. But apart from that, I think the other match that's there, Denmark, Serbia, even that, I mean, like you mentioned, fantastically summed it up. But what looking at this table on the screen, what surprises me is that both Denmark and Slovenia have neither won nor lost, played two,
Oh,
drawn
yeah.
two.
Two draws. Yeah, of
so
course. Yeah.
so very very interesting battle. But I think, like I've mentioned in the key points as well, that probably England should be safe considering the talent and resources that they have. I think it's between the remaining three who manages to scrape through into the next round. But
I would
it's
think so.
obviously a group wide open. uh, Again, look, on paper, I think you consider Denmark to be the second best, but
Hmm.
football is really played on paper, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you would have to turn up there and finish. And Serbia has played some brilliant football. I think whatever I've seen, they have been very good in the field. So very very interesting to see how things unfold over here.
Yeah, so very interesting. But I think when you were going through the squad and who is in and who is out, I think I really felt that Southgate has a tendency to go with the decent form, okay, and
Yeah,
then just hope that uh, that these new players are going to jump. Yeah, I mean they're going to then fit into the cog, okay, in the wheel
so,
as a
so
cog.
you mean something like Shivam Dube over Rinku Singh, something of that sorts.
Something like that. But how can you play me? How can you choose Eze when you have Sancho, Rashford, Grealish, who knows how many,
Absolutely,
right? Okay, so it
absolutely.
is not,
Nobody.
and here I have seen that Trent Alexander-Arnold is being asked to do something which he cannot. Okay, he cannot defend. but he plays a
At least
right
not
back.
something that he's familiar with.
Yes, of course, of course. So he's not familiar to play at the center at all. Okay, so what his strength is to play in the wings. Okay, so
Hmm.
you might as well playing on the left wing. Okay, then yeah, then make him a CDM. So what this calls out for is that even if here England they are going to go to the next round, I don't think they are going to
Yeah.
go a long. Yeah, so
The
they are not
distance.
going to go deep into the tournament. I would feel.
That's a very interesting take. I think considering that they are probably runners up from last time World Cup, decent outing, but you don't fancy them uh, going the distance this time, is what you are saying?
Yeah. So yeah, means I am more or less sure that they are not going to play the finals. Okay, but seeing but then talking with you, who is playing and who is not playing. Okay, and there have been a lot of changes from the last World Cup itself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So so here means in football, in international football, there is not a lot of continuity, but still you would feel like somebody like Eze, okay, and here Southgate telling that okay they don't have a natural replacement for Calvin Phillips. Okay, so it's a
Right. He
yeah,
said
so
that
it's
already.
very very hectic out there. I think who is playing and who is not playing. It is yeah, I mean, it's not a very good look. If you look at France or Spain, right, they have all the players who have been playing for the last few years, right? So here I mean I'm not sure what is
You
happening.
know,
I know that you like England, but I don't see them okay playing
going
the
the
final.
distance.
Yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
fair enough. I think absolutely. But you know what that reminds me of, and that's a very interesting point that you pointed out. This reminded me that in one of the matches, I was just hearing to the commentators, and they said that the largest number of players that are repeated from the last Euro to this one is in Denmark, coincidentally the
Denmark.
same group as we
Okay.
are talking. So, and
Yes.
they have not managed to win any. So not obviously, I mean, no one solution to every problem,
Of
but
course,
I think
absolutely.
I get what you I mean, I get the hang of what you are trying to say, because so many rotations, so many, and essentially, I mean, why would you want to sub out Harry Kane when you are aiming for a win, right? You're looking for a goal. I mean, that's he's the best that you have. So
Hmm.
why would you want to replace him at that point of time with 20 minutes into the game? But yes, Southgate doing Southgate things, so that is there. Okay, so let's move on, Shilajit. I think
Let's move on
we
to
are,
Group D, I would say. Yeah.
yeah, let's
Cup
move
of
on to
England.
group, yeah,
Yeah.
group D from England.
Oh,
So
yes. Yeah.
this is the one in which okay, so over here also I don't see anyone has qualified yet. No one has been evicted as well, although Poland is in zero. So okay, so over here, what do you think? France, Netherlands, they played out a nil-nil draw, I think, a couple of nights back, but
Yes.
they are primarily the ones whom we would think would go through.
Yeah. So I would say that France and Netherlands are trying to go um, as numbers one and two. Okay, but here you have
Yeah,
a lot of scope to become the number three still, right? So as we have been seeing, okay, okay, this is one of the USPs of Euro, I would say, right? So which you and
yeah,
I we agree that that till the last match, every team
it's
is
not
in
over.
contention. But if you look at this, even though we called out the yeah Spain Italy's group as group of death, okay, this group is very tough. If you look at the footballing history, Austria has been very good. Okay, here Poland have been one underwhelming
World
so
class
far, but
players,
even their history is very good. Okay, so
and they
here
have
I
world
think
class players at their disposal as well.
yeah,
I
so
mean,
here I
Lewandowski and the
think
likes.
Poland. Yeah, so here I think Poland would be a bit disappointed at their showing at the moment. But I think
Played to
France
Australia.
and Netherlands, and you see Austria at three already. Austria at three. So their Netherlands versus Austria, it is very much open for number two, right? And maybe even for number one position here. Okay, so France, Poland are again teams which we know that France can be, yeah, they can just run away yeah, with the match. Okay, but here Poland, they have the players like you were calling out. So here both the matches are going to be okay. So interesting, but I would say Netherlands versus Austria is
Would
the
be more.
match to keep on your TV. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely, and yeah, correct. I mean, effectively, if you look at it, and based on the team strength on paper as well as what's happened so far, I think you would think that Netherlands versus Austria would be the more competitive match. That's absolutely, I think, on agreement over there. But you're looking forward to fingers crossed Mbappe versus Lewandowski. Hopefully, both of them play.
Oh yes, I am really hoping Mbappe plays and somebody hits him on the nose again. Okay, so I am really praying for that. So yeah, so where you mentioned in your
This
second point
is
that
this
Mbappe
is
is not critical, I would hope so
this
that he
is
returns. Yeah.
This is Shilajit the Spain fan talking, or this is Shilajit the Barca fan talking?
Both you would say, right? Okay, so Yamis, it is not Yamis, it's not neutral at all. Okay, so Yamis, it is good for Spain, and yeah, so him coming into Real Madrid is absolutely start of dark days for Barcelona. Okay, okay, so yeah, so they are
So
not very happy.
it's a potential peek into the El Clasico rivalry as well, right? I mean, Mbappe versus Lewandowski again. So we are kind of getting a peek into it.
Might be, absolutely. But yeah. But what Lewandowski has behind him in Poland is no match to what he has in Barcelona.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you cannot say that for France, right? France has everyone, especially with Kante returning. Okay,
So
yeah.
yeah, on this one, I mean, I'm not sure whether you followed the last match of Spain, but I was very, very, very disappointed to see the way France turned out against Netherlands. I know Mbappe is
Okay, you have
huge.
last one was, yeah, France you mentioned, right? Okay, you
Yeah,
mentioned Spain, I think. Sorry, yeah.
oh,
Okay,
sorry,
yeah.
sorry. France, I mean. So
Uh-huh.
basically, I know Mbappe was missing in that match and he could not play a part. But you still have the likes of Dembele, Griezmann. Who's the other one that's here in the other wing? I mean, so many players. I mean, players of huge caliber. N'Golo Conte, everyone. But in spite of that, the number of opportunities that they missed, especially Griezmann, I think. It goes on to show that probably there's an, I don't know if I may call it so, or maybe it's too early to say that there's an over reliance on uh, Kylian
Mbappe.
Mbappe. I mean, yeah, so because and both the teams in that match, I was just reading it somewhere that if you are looking for a goal and in the 70th minute of the match you are getting in Oliver Giroud, and the other team, interestingly,
Yeah.
got Weghorst, right? I mean, from Netherlands, Weghorst came in. So it's probably not the best case scenario for either of the teams, in which probably a case of firing strikers missing from their ranks. Maybe that's the case. I don't know, but
Maybe that's the case, but means it is sort of laugh. Yeah, means after the last World Cup, I have given up, and I say that okay, France are always going to be super competitive. Last World Cup, they had six players missing, and they went to the final, and they gave Messi a run for his
uh,
money in the final as well, right? So we always know that France are going to be means they are going to be actually very very competitive, and yeah, so they are almost assured to go into the next round. And when you have players like Mbappe, Griezmann, and okay, Kante playing, you know that they have the capability to beat any team in Europe at the moment, right? So even though they might be missing the names in the attacking front, and they have players like Rabiot playing. So you told that who is in the other wing, right? So yeah,
yeah,
means yeah, over the left it
Rabiot,
would.
and yeah, I think Marcus Thuram was also
Yeah,
involved in
Marcus
the
Thuram
middle.
was
But
up front, I think. Okay.
okay, okay.
So the names, so the names don't inspire that much confidence. And when you have somebody like Mbappe, okay, so Mbappe, yeah, so means it is like having Sachin and then Sadagopan Ramesh opening. Okay, you would
Correct.
always see that. Okay, yeah, I mean, you always say that it is lopsided. Okay, but still they have it in their arsenal to go a long way. And actually they play, so they play very well as a team. And their coach
Yeah,
with his Deschamps, okay, so he knows how to actually gel the team together
at the
and
best.
keep the continuity, right? So France, I think France versus Poland, it might be a bit one-sided. I would like to see Poland, okay, yeah, so they then actually they give a fight. But France, we know. So France, we have to concede that, yeah. So we are going to see them. Okay, starting the second half of July also, maybe, or maybe the second week of July. Yeah.
Second week of July, yes, absolutely. But France eventually, I mean, in last Euro they were shockingly eliminated. I think in round of 16 or quarters. But
Yes, yes,
but
yes. By
but
one
yeah,
of
I
the
mean,
good teams, I think. Yeah.
yeah, but considering, I mean, what they have done in the last couple of World Cups, you can, I mean, rule them out at your own peril. That's
Yes,
absolutely
and
true.
Mbappe, he is the captain, and he has already told that I have won the World Cup. I have scored a hat trick in a World Cup final. But for me, the tougher thing is
Did
the
you?
Euro. So yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I was coming to that.
yeah,
So you have seen that, right? I mean, what's your
yeah,
take
yeah,
on
yeah.
that?
Yeah, so there I think he's trying to just spur on his team to actually play very well in the Euros. What would be
Possibly.
interesting for me to see is, does this spur his team on, or actually do they feel weighed down by the expectations that they have won a World Cup, they have played the final of the next World Cup. Yeah, but in Euros, I think last time they went out in round of 16, like you mentioned. Okay, what happens to France is would be interesting to see.
Do you know he hasn't scored a goal in Euro yet?
Is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I cannot imagine. Yeah, means if you see France in World Cup, every goal is from Mbappe's boot, right? So
Mbappe
very
hasn't scored a goal
shocking
in
kind of thing.
Euros
Yeah,
yet,
he has
and
not
it's an
scored in.
unbelievable stat. Yeah.
How many has he played? Is this his second
I think
Euro?
yeah, this is second Euro, but even the last one, I think three matches and four. That's why I said four matches. I think France played. I'm not sure whether he played in all of them, but ideally he should be. I mean, unless he was
Mhm.
injured. And I was just listening to the again. This is something I picked up from the commentary and later checked, but he hasn't scored yet. And the on the
Very
first
interesting.
match, I think he missed a fairly one-to-one chance with the goalkeeper. He put it
Yes,
wide
yes,
of
yes.
the
I
post,
think I remember
and
now.
it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
at that point that one of the commentators were mentioning that he would have to wait a little bit longer for his first
Yeah,
Euro goal.
okay, very
But yeah,
interesting. So Poland won't be very happy hearing that. Okay, that Mbappe is still, yeah, is waiting, and they are actually, whoever plays at actually right back for Poland would certainly be not happy, right?
not happy.
Because
Yeah,
Mbappe might be just actually literally tearing into him in the next match. Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, so let's move on, Shilajit, for the next one. So
Yeah.
I think this is a fairly great group. Okay, so this is Group E. We had
Oh my
this is
God.
unbelievable. this, so you have had close ones, you have had closer ones. Here I present to you the closest group of them all. So
Closest.
effectively, if you
Everyone has
see at
won.
my yeah, at my key points, I have written it as the virtual quarterfinal group, or not quarterfinal. It is actually round of 32 group. I have just mentioned quarterfinal because I think I was thinking of semifinals then. But effectively, since
Hmm.
everyone is going at round of 16, so it's basically a R32 round over here in this group,
Round 32. Yes, yes. Why
in
not? Fascinating.
which it's a knockout. And I think let's look at the fixtures. It's Belgium versus Ukraine. So I think Belgium has a greater goal difference, so draw would favor them. But
Hmm.
Slovakia versus Romania, I think again favors Romania because they are higher up the table due to goal difference. So a draw would mean Belgium and Romania go through in both of the matches, but otherwise it's whoever wins goes through.
Oh wow. Okay, so I did not expect it, Jamis, to see this. Maybe by the time I reached Group E, I got exhausted of the table. Okay, but yeah, this is 3-3-3. So what is fascinating here is that every team has tasted blood. Every team has won. Okay, every team has scored. Okay, and they are all on 3 points. And it is very surprising to see Romania upon top when you have Belgium. Okay, and I think also one of your key points is that, is whether Belgium is back on song. I'm not. I mean, I am.
Not
I
very
mean,
sure.
I'm not very sure. And here Ukraine. Okay, so there is almost this the possibility that two of the top threes go from this group. They are already in
Correct.
3 points, right? So
Yes.
so here none of the matches are going to be easy,
Dull
or they are going
or
to
boring.
be,
Yeah.
are going to be boring. But if you ask me that which match would you like to see, I would still like to see what Lukaku is doing. right? So
So what is, so I was telling this in the morning in a chat with one of my friends that there are two people in this world right now. One is Pat Cummins, who is doing everything and it turns into gold, and
who
in the
cannot do
opposite,
anything wrong. Yeah.
cannot do anything wrong. And in the opposite end of the spectrum is Romelu Lukaku, who cannot do a thing right. I mean, no matter how many times he scores, it's always an offside or a foul or whatever it is. I mean, unbelievable luck. Even yesterday, I think he did very, very well in that first goal. He's often very criticized for his first touch, but he showed incredible poise in that first goal where he managed to play it onto Yuri Telemans. But otherwise, I mean, the goal that he scored last night, it was an incredible through from Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh
Okay,
yes, of course.
unbelievable,
Who else?
world class
Yeah.
through.
Mhm.
Lukaku did fantastic. I mean, he ran beautifully, scored the goal, unbelievably in the VAR display, video assistant replay display. It showed that one of his knees were pointing out of the offside line. I mean, I don't know what he needs to do to get a goal in this Euro. But yeah, I think I agree. I think that's the match where the box office is Belgium versus Ukraine, and but even Slovakia versus Romania, I think both of the teams, Slovakia did very well to catch Belgium off guard in the first match. I think that's why Belgium is
Good
where they
job.
are
Yeah.
today. But it's unbelievable. I mean, fantastic to see this group so beautifully poised, and it's almost like a straight knockout match, knockout before
It is a knockout.
knockouts. Yeah, so
Yeah,
beautiful.
but
I think
yeah, but here you know, oh, but here the knockout is in such a fashion that you might have 3 points and get knocked out. You won't be in the top three. Yeah, so you have to be third to uh, be considered as one of the top three teams, right? Okay, so
correct.
here you can be 3 points, you can be fourth, and you can go home. Okay, so any team which goes home from this group would be very disappointed.
Yeah,
Okay,
correct.
but I think uh, about Lukaku, I think there. I mean, I am hearing of some sort of curse for Euro 24. I don't know what curse is going on. Okay, but here Belgium, I think overall they have been a bit underwhelming, and we are able to see the impact which Eden Hazard had on the team. So he had an off World Cup, and there Belgium had a very poor outing, and again they have been a bit underwhelming. You have KDB, but yeah, but there is a question that whether KDB needs somebody like Gundogan and Foden and Haaland and Eden Hazard or whoever plays, yeah, for him to actually prosper. And you mentioned about the first touch of Lukaku, right? And like I have always mentioned to you that I am a huge fan of Lukaku, just like I was of Shahid Afridi. Okay, means it is very funny to see these two players. And I have mentioned this to you that
Entertaining.
yeah, I mean, in the World Cup match in which they came back from 2-0 down versus Japan. Okay, so their Lukaku's best contribution was when he actually really dummied the ball for the third goal. Okay, when
Yeah,
the
I
ball
know
was
you're
passed
good.
to him and he left it. Okay, that was his best contribution. So okay, so here Lukaku has always been. I mean, he has always yeah been very exciting to watch, but this group is very very close, and I think so one team is going to go yeah, back home very sad, okay, that they have
Couldn't
ended
make
up
through.
fourth with 3 points.
Absolutely. But on the flip side, I mean, whoever finishes third, I think I was just looked into the other groups to see what is the current state of the third team. I think if you are at 3 points or 4 points, I think you would fancy yourself to go through as one of the four best third place teams. So that
Absolutely.
way they would want. I mean, even if they're losing, they would still want to be not losing very badly. So to ensure that they go through as one of the teams.
Absolutely. But here I think, yeah, yeah. So while actually talking with you, I think I might have just realized it is not top four teams with the most points. It is the top teams who are at third position. So even
Yeah,
if you have 3 points and are fourth, you are out.
you're out. You're
Okay,
out.
so it
You're out.
might be that there might not be four teams with 3 points in top three table. Okay, but
Correct.
you are
Correct.
fourth, so you are out.
Absolutely. It's basically the best four third place teams
Yeah, third place team. So in yes, so in
in
this
your
group
group.
you can become, oh yeah, yeah, I mean you can become fourth with 3 points.
Absolutely. And somebody from another group with 2 points can sneak ahead of you with him being in third place.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
yeah, but
That's true.
yeah, but it's
Format of-
and this yeah, I mean, it's an awesome group with everybody on the same
Yeah,
points going on the last day, right? Yeah, going into the last day. Yes,
absolutely
you
hanging
think?
on the
Yeah.
balance. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to the last group of our Euro discussion. I think this is the one which has Cristiano Ronaldo. So Portugal, Georgia, the match. I think Portugal has secured their qualification with
And first
2 wins
position.
in 2 matches. Yeah, and
Yeah.
oh yeah, and first position. They cannot. Okay. Yeah. Okay? You've already looked it up. Okay, so they cannot. No one can touch Portugal. So they are number one. But they have their match against Georgia. I mean, going into the tournament, you would think that's the easiest of the three matches that they would want. But Georgia has been
Absolutely.
very good in whatever we have seen of them. And the other one is Turkey versus Czechia. So this is the other one that's there. I think Turkey is on three
Another
points.
round of 32 match. Yeah.
Another round of 32 match. Whoever wins goes through. But if it's a draw, I think Turkey prevails. So what do you look? But the other thing that I wanted to, so obviously that's the shootout that we want to discuss in terms of what happens between the second match. So let's talk about it first. Do you think most likely that Turkey prevails over there?
I would, James, I would hope so. Okay, because here with Czech Republic, they are a good squad, they are a good team, but here Turkey is the team which is in form, right? And okay, so they have beaten Georgia. They lost to Portugal, I think 3-0, but they still, yeah, they still looked okay, very good in patches. Yeah, and here Czech, they have not won a match, but I means I'm sure that is not going to be an easy walk for Turkey. Okay, because Czech, they would fancy to win. Okay, so if you ask them,
Mhm.
they yeah, so they have drawn versus I think Georgia, right? Right. So they are not in the best of forms. But if you would have asked them that, do you fancy to beat Turkey? I think they would have told yes, right. and
Absolutely.
and here Turkey also, yeah, but what, and the second point which we have been talking about is, since Turkey already have 3 points, they have that cushion. Okay, and here for Czech Republic, it might be a do or die match, because even if they are on the third position with 1 point or maybe 2 points eventually, they are not going to make it to the best of top three teams, right? So for them, it
True.
is a must win. Okay, so the match to watch out for, I would still say that it is very close, because yeah, so their Portugal are full of stars, and you would like to see the stars playing
Box
and maybe
office.
win 3
Yeah.
0 4-0 there. Okay, but yeah, but the match with more on stake, and with the two participating okay teams more closer, it is going to be Turkey versus Czech. But here I am not able to make a call which match should be on your TV. I think it should be Portugal anyway. Okay, you would like to see the star scoring, right?
Absolutely. When it's Cristiano Ronaldo, there's only one answer to that question. But what do you? I mean, I know you are following one of both the Portugal's matches. I mean, they have been in fine nick. Again,
Yeah,
I
they
was
good.
reading up. They seem to be very strong even during the qualifying stages. They have a very well balanced side. It's now no longer Ronaldo and 10 others. It's more like a team along with Cristiano Ronaldo. So how do you see Portugal in the uh, bigger scheme of things? Do you see Ronaldo at least emulating the great Lionel Messi in the continent stage? At least I think Ronaldo
Uh,
has already done that, but
yeah,
it would be great to see Ronaldo lifting a
of course,
trophy just
of course.
after
So
Messi.
yeah, means I have seen, yeah, means I have seen questions like whether 2 euros are more valuable than one World Cup and stuff. Okay, but I have also read another
Sorry, what
fascinating
was the
thing,
question? 2 euros are more valuable than,
one World Cup.
but one
Okay,
World Cup and one Copa.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so there when so when people are talking at that time, they don't consider Copa at all, and actually,
Absolutely.
which is not the good thing to do. That's not a
Give
good
it.
thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, but I have read another fascinating line, and that line is finally, we have reached a point where, uh, yeah, where okay, Ronaldo needs the team of Portugal more than Portugal needing Ronaldo. Okay, so now
Absolutely.
he is part of the team. He is passing the ball around. Okay, he knows that he is slightly okay declining in his capabilities. So now it is looking more like a well-rounded team. In fact,
Absolutely, and you would not believe, I was stunned to see yesterday, last night's match. It was the second or third goal in which he had the chance, he had the opponent goalkeeper right in front of him, and
and
he
he comes
chose to just pass it on to Bruno Fernandes and happy with
from
the assist. I
Uruguay
mean,
to Belgium.
that is so unlike Cristiano Ronaldo, right? I mean, he would just, the showman that he is. It is inevitable that he shoots from that point. But I mean, that's probably one of the signs that yes, what you said, that it is more of a team right now, and it was brilliant to see how the likes of Cancelo and Bruno Fernandes went on to hug him after that goal. So absolutely brilliant scene. So yes, that's there, and I think Portugal will go a good distance in this one. I'm just hopeful that
In
okay,
the
let's
Euros.
see. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. So
Yeah.
how they where they finish?
Okay, but if we have to see that since they are assured of the first position, they are 1F, right? Who are they more
They are.
likely to face?
I think
Portugal, 3A
they.
or 3B or 3C, I see.
Yeah. You
Okay,
you're already seeing it.
the third of ABC.
Correct. Okay. Yes. One third of ABC.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay. So their next match might look easy enough for them. They either play Slovenia or yeah, maybe Croatia, Albania,
Yeah.
or Scotland, Hungary.
Whoever
Okay.
it
So
is should be
that
out.
would
Should
be
be
good.
out.
So I think they are primed to go into the quarterfinals, and they are indeed looking a solid team this time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, Shilajit.
Okay.
So I think almost an hour, touching the hour mark. We are.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
have
So we
got.
started off slowly like Dhoni, I would say.
Yeah, we started off slowly like Dhoni, and always. I mean, but that's okay. I think considering the occasion, it's probably a once in a lifetime occasion where you get a situation like this. So let's make the full use of it. And but absolutely thrilling. I mean, I'm just happy that the spectacle goes on for the next few weeks. I think July 15th is the Euro final, so we still have around 4 weeks of action left in Euro. The group league matches will finish in the next couple of days, but then knockouts is where the real fun is, right? Full drama,
Absolutely.
tiebreaker, penalty shootouts, everything. So
Yeah,
absolutely
so
looking forward.
just imagine if after this, if Euro had Super 16 or something like that. Okay, so that is what makes okay football stand out. Okay, from now on it
Absolutely.
is going to be full knockouts. Anybody can knock out
Absolutely.
anyone. Yeah.
Anyone can knock out anyone,
Yes.
and that's the only way you make teams like Greece champions, right? That's the only way. You would never have okay, I was about to say Afghanistan, I'll not go there. But I mean, for example, USA, like USA or the likes of these kind of teams. I mean, we will see. But anyway, that's on to our next segment. So let's move on to that, then let's move
Yeah,
to cricket.
yeah. So let's do that. And I was about to mention that since you mentioned that this occasion might be once in a lifetime. Okay, not often can you move from European tournament to a World Cup in cricket within a slide. Right, it's not
Within
going to
one
happen a lot.
slide, within one discussion, within an
Yeah.
hour. Unbelievable. Okay, so this is where
Yes.
we are in the Cricket World Cup, right? So this is fascinating. Uh, this is the first group. This
Yeah, so
is
we have to just
where
adjust
we
our scope, knowing that here with a win you get okay 2 points. Okay, because my first thought was yeah, why is India on four? Okay, but here for a win you get 2 points. Okay,
yeah,
so
2 points, 2 points, matches lasting 3 hours. But yeah, so this is the obviously the first group of the Super Eight, and this is what has happened today morning, right? This is the match. This is the group that has been thrown wide open, courtesy that historic victory for the Afghanistan men, right? And when I slept last night, I was just wondering. I mean, I know we discussed in our WhatsApp chats that maybe Afghanistan can pull off something, but even when we were talking, we knew it was a humongous task. It was a humongous thing to pull off in a World Cup against Australia, right? Australia is a different beast in World Cup cricket. I remember, I think it was the first T20 World Cup in which Australia had suffered a shock loss to Zimbabwe, if I remember right.
Ah, yes, yes,
Just
they do.
just calling from
Mhm.
my memory, but even I mean, otherwise Australia is a hugely different thing. So what we have in our hand right now, Shilajit, is that there are two matches that are left. One is India versus Australia. 12 hours ago, one would have been forgiven to think that India versus Australia would be a dead rubber. Now it's not. Not only that, it is almost a do or die, or not almost, it is a do or die for Australia. It could possibly be a trap for India as well if push comes to shove. And the other match after India versus Australia pans out is Afghanistan versus Bangladesh, where they would have the luxury to know what the result is for India Australia and plan their match accordingly. So, firstly, your comments on what Afghanistan has done to this group.
Afghanistan, the most wonderful thing which I think we saw in, yeah, means in the match today was the assuredness of the squad. Okay, they were very confident that they have the ability to win. Okay, they means I saw a bit of their batting. Okay, and their batting in the opening partnership was so sure that they can hit as well as not give away their wickets. Okay, it was really good to see. So they started in a way where they wanted to keep wickets in hand. But when we saw Afghanistan, the middle and the lower middle order struggling, you knew that it's not going to be very easy for Australia. But yeah, but actually, given the history of Australia, okay, you always, yeah, would have backed, yeah, them to chase. But I think I would just like to just point out one thing here. So I just saw it, I mean, it's in the highlights video, but I have read about it after the match that here Navinullah, he asked for the first over. Okay, and he came down the wicket and he bowled the ball which he did to head, and he got it
Right.
to hit the stumps. And it actually then brought back all those memories for us India fans, where Jasprit Bumrah would have bowled three similar deliveries in the final, and all
And it
of
did
them
not.
missed the stump and the bat. Okay, and had scored a century. It is just wonderful to see. Okay, a team like Afghanistan growing from strength to strength and becoming a force which can go then deep into tournaments. That is absolutely wonderful to see.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And just on that point, on the head dismissal point, I'll tell you a very curious, very peculiar stat that I just figured out.
Yeah.
So Travis Head, in the last three matches that he has played, with Rahmanullah Gurba's wicket keeping behind him, has been zero,
Okay.
0, and 0. Sunrisers
Gurbaz.
versus KKR.
Sunrisers versus KKR final, and then the first qualifier also.
Correct. Both of
And
them.
this time.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Okay, yeah. So we have to think about giving Gurba citizenship of India then. Okay, so that at least he's standing behind the stumps. Okay, but anyway, uh, Afghanistan, okay, winning the match okay, so opened this group wider. But the one other thing which it does is it gives India the chance to stop the lion before it enters the arena. Okay, because once Australia is in
Very
the
aptly
knockouts,
expressed.
okay, once Australia is in the knockouts, it can just blow away anyone. Okay, so this is the chance. So yeah, so like it happened in the last T20 World Cup. Okay, okay. Where in the first match of last World Cup, okay, New Zealand they beat Australia so badly that they were not able to make it to the semi-final after that. Okay, this is the chance to stop Australia, and it is India. Okay, so it's going to be a very good run. Yeah, for India, and I think, like you mentioned offline on WhatsApp, that it is a chance for India to consider this as the final. Okay, but
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
consider something as the final and play the final is not the same thing. That's
Different
it.
is different.
That's the
But
thing.
you know what, again, maybe a little bit of digression, but I remember reading up on Paddy Apton, who was the
Hmm.
consultant, I think, in during the 2011 World Cup.
Hmm.
And he used to tell the Indian team 2 years into the World Cup, 2 years, from 2 years prior to the World Cup, that they used to think that every match is a final, and they would tune themselves according to that. And then eventually when the
That's a good
final
thing.
came, it was just another match, something like that. But obviously that's a different story. But match by match, just to have a pinpointed discussion. So India versus Australia, knockout for Australia. India can slip, although they have a very good run rate at this point that we are seeing in the screen. It's plus 2.4.
I think
I was
India
read
are through. Yeah, so
India are
we
through or
can consider.
reasonably safe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's
No, no, yeah,
primarily
yeah. Reasonably. Hmm.
reasonably safe. So from that perspective, what do you think? I mean, Australia would be wounded tigers. Obviously, they would not take this loss very lightly. They would come back rearing in the next match. But
That is
how do you
true.
see that match playing out?
Yes, and when the World Cup would have started, or for any tournament, any format, India versus Australia is the blockbuster match across the globe at the moment. So India versus Australia is always going to be fun. We know that Australia won't be given so easily. The only thing is Australia would know that even if they sneak a win, they have yeah, the chances to make it to the semi-finals. But India versus Australia, it's going to be a really interesting match. India's bowling lineup, yeah, so that might be a little too much to handle for Australia. But we have seen, yeah, means our dreams shattered a lot of times. To know that even if this match is won, we have a long journey to go. So I think here, Australia, if we know Australia, they would, yeah, so they would come out all guns firing. Okay, and head, yes, and head won't get bold. He would he would take those catches of Rohit Sharma. Everything will happen. Okay, and yeah, but it is up to India to stop Australia at the moment. And if any team has to be backed who can stop Australia, it has to be India. Yeah, means India has to be one of the top contenders there. Okay, very interesting match, high voltage, high billing.
Uh, and I think another point, or another incentive from India's perspective, is that I was just again reading that we know that the second semi-final is in Guyana. And right now I think Guyana is not in the best of the weathers. So there is a
Ah,
high probability or discussion going on that maybe that semi-final could be washed out. And in case that is to be washed out, the team that finishes higher in the group goes through. So India would want to finish top of the
yes.
group to ensure that in case something untoward happens in the second semi-final, they would want to make sure that they are okay. So I think lots to play for India as well. If not, eliminating Australia is enough motivation. I think
Uh,
that is anyway enough
Yeah,
motivation.
yeah, but now I think you have thrown me into another okay mood of kind of segment, because if India needs to do something and the opponent is Australia, it, yeah, means those are tricky days. Okay, because if India would like to win so that they can be number one and they can then actually go through the final. Okay, the last team they would like to see is Australia.
No, but
Yeah, facing.
you know what I am banking on. I am banking on that we have defeated Australia in the quarterfinal in 2011. That was our chance to knock them out. In the
Yeah.
2007 World Cup, we have defeated Australia in the semi-finals. So situations like this where we have met them prior to the final, I think we have managed to throw them off their perch. So let's hope it's one more time.
Uh,
And
yeah, but those are the two historical events which we remember.
yeah,
Everywhere else, it has been Australia. Right.
Like I just remember 2015 semi-final.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, because okay, so we remember these things because yeah, because in '99 when we had to win, so they thrashed us. In 2003 when we faced the final, them in the final, they thrashed us. Okay, in 2015 we played in the semi-final, they thrashed us. The only thing which is good is if you are able to beat Australia, then there's a high chance that you would be the champion. Okay, in 2011 India won, they were the home host in the 2019 World Cup. England won, and they were the host and they became the champion. But in with T20 format, you never know, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah, so like we have seen, it can I mean, anything can happen. But India versus Australia is the match where so where all fans or any neutrals would like to watch. Okay, so with or without context, India versus Australia is blockbuster anytime. And like I mentioned, for India, the
With the added
only
context
incentive that actually should be is to stop the lion, okay, as before it
from
enters the ring.
I
Right?
love that
You
line.
have to stop
I'm
the
going
you
to
have to stop the lion.
I'm going to edit this into a short and publish that. Stop the lion before it enters the arena. Fantastic. The next one, Shilajit, Afghanistan versus Bangladesh. I mean, obviously, with Afghanistan's win today, they would have a spring in their strides. But Bangladesh, having played two, lost two, uh, I feel they're a little bit of a muted side at the moment in the T20 format. But what do you think? I mean, is there any
So
chance or possibility that
Mhm,
in case India manages to defeat Australia,
mhm.
there is a possibility that it throws three teams on 2 points each if Bangladesh wins? Do you think that is a possibility, or do you think
So
Afghanistan would be
I
too hot
think
to handle?
so we might be having a lot of possibilities on paper, but here Bangladesh are down and out. Okay, so they have been the okay the plum boys who have been backed by India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka for more than 2 decades at the moment. And it won't make I mean it won't take a lot yeah, for India to start backing Afghanistan instead of seeing what Bangladesh is doing. Okay, so even in their golden era, I think their only achievements were that they actually beat India in a World Cup match, or they won some
Mm,
Asia Cup matches, but not winning the Asia Cup at the end. Okay,
mm.
so they have been very disappointing. I think over the last few years they are down and out. The only thing which can still make them actually be competitive are the conditions. Okay, where if the conditions are turning and Shakibs and Mehdi and okay Mehmadullah
Rishad,
and Fiz,
that's a new guy.
okay, yes, and okay Rishad, and then there is one more pacer. I think there is the Tasin
Tanzim,
Ahmed or something is
Tanzim,
going on.
Tanzim, yeah,
Yeah,
something
yeah. So
Tanzim,
there
yeah.
are options. So the only thing would be like if you know that you are out, but you still turn out for a World Cup match, and there the conditions help you. And on the other hand, you have Afghanistan. So the most likely thing which is going to happen is that Afghanistan are going to blow Bangladesh away. Okay, but in with T20 format, anything might happen. If you see that Afghanistan have been yeah, means they are suddenly okay 3 for 20. Okay, you never know what happens. But I think Bangladesh are down and out. Even if by God's grace they do make it to some next round, they are not going to. Oh, yeah, yeah, I mean they are not going to be doing anything there. So here Bangladesh have.
And
I mean very sad to say that, but I think it 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 is good for world cricket at the moment. Also maybe if
considering their
Afghanistan.
fan base.
Yeah, fan base and the thing is that at the moment Afghanistan are the team. Okay, so yeah, so here Bangladesh, Ireland, Scotland, they were all backed before Afghanistan, but Afghanistan is the team standing now. Okay, so
That
all reasons to that.
that just good segue into a discussion. There is some talk in the social media forums that
Okay.
could this be Afghanistan's 1983 moment?
Ooh, okay.
So a team that is not so backed, but eventually underdogs triumphing. Do you think do you think that's a possibility? Do you think it could? possibly be Afghanistan's
Oh my
crowning moment
God.
in the
Yeah,
history?
means after India, I think I would not means I would be very happy to see Afghanistan win. And since you raised this point, I just realized that now Afghanistan have to win 4 matches on the trot. So they have already okay beaten Australia. They face
One out of four
Bangladesh.
done.
Okay, semi-final, final. Okay, so they were on the verge of going out in 1983. India did that in 1992. Pakistan did that. Okay, where they
Pakistan.
had to win the last matches. Okay, so it is, yeah, miss in these conditions where in our sport, I think the conditions matter a
Conditions
lot.
matter a
Okay,
lot.
they won't be playing in Sydney and Melbourne. Oh, okay, they will be playing in the Caribbean. I would love to see that happen, but for that, okay, the net run rate has been really hampered by India. Okay, so yeah, by their big brother. So they would need to win the next match, win it handsomely. Hope Australia loses. So there is a lot of things, yeah, going here and there. At the moment, I think what Rashid Khan will be thinking is to go out on the park and first beat Bangladesh. Okay, and then see what happens. Okay, but yeah, but then stupendous point raised by you that it can be the 1983. Who knows? Hope for it.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, the way they have come up in the last few years, leaps and bounds, beautiful story. And in
Absolutely.
case, I mean, right now I think it's a little too far fetched, but never say never, and especially in T20 cricket, right? You cannot. And and if you can beat Australia, you can beat anybody. I mean, after
Anybody.
today, you have done the unthinkable. I mean, even Gulbuddin Naib in the post-match presentation, I mean, he was in tears, complete disbelief. He just managed to say that finally we have beaten Australia, and
Yes.
and that showed what it meant to them.
So there is a lot of background to beating Australia. Australia is one of those teams who had told that they are not going to play Afghanistan anymore. Okay, due to Taliban banning the women's team. They were supposed to welcome Afghanistan to Australia for a series. They stopped that. There is a lot of history behind that, and maybe okay, that was one of the reasons I wanted Afghanistan to beat Australia in the last ODI World Cup as well. Okay, but that did not happen. So there's a huge context to Afghanistan beating Australia. So they are the newbies. Australia are the best team in history, right? So it's a huge thing. But still, in these conditions, I would still say beating India is your topmost challenge. Even though okay, we as Indians we feel that हमारा team कभी भी हार जाएगा. Okay, that is there.
Yeah,
But in these conditions, it is very tough to beat India, where you have, yeah, means all the right bowlers and all the right batters. Yeah, I mean in Indian team, and as you saw, yeah, I mean in that match, India just, yeah, they just steamrolled past Afghanistan.
absolutely. And I feel in these kind of matches, India kind of has a psychological edge. I mean, they feel more at ease with these kind of new teams that are there. I mean, very rarely. I mean, unlike a South Africa or Pakistan, you rarely see India stumbling against so-called minnows. So that
It
that
has
that
almost
is
never happened.
almost never happened. Okay, so just to wind up on this group, Shilajit, I just read something on which I wanted a view of yours, and this
Hmm.
is regarding that heroic Maxwell's innings after the last World Cup in that Afghanistan match. So this is something that I was going through, and it's written. I mean, this is something that Maxwell said in one of their, I think, in-house podcasts, right? And he has kind of generalized, and I quote unquote read it out, that the energy that Maxwell is saying this, that the energy that they had, talking about Afghanistan, they had in the first 15-20 overs was extraordinary, and we have seen that a lot from them. I have played against a lot of subcontinental teams, and the one thing that I have always found, that if you could take the sting out of the game, not by runs, but by basically being there, you play one or two shots in every couple of overs, and you can see how flat it starts to get. They start a bit of bickering, infighting, finger pointing, arms raising, fielders not paying attention, it sort of all starts to unravel. And this is
Shoulders drop.
generalizing subcontinental teams. And I felt it was a little bit of a racial slur, but but one of the few reasons or multiple reasons for which I got a little happy that Maxwell could not do it today. I mean, what's your take?
Absolutely, and I mean, yeah, means when I hear okay, yeah, means I hear such things, I would then start planning for us to beat them the next time. Okay, because he's right, he's right. Because the matches which we have lost by 10 wickets, 9 wickets, 8 wickets have all had similar characteristics. We only time where we have come back from positions of losing or we're under Dhoni. Okay, from the time we got into the era of Kohli and then with Rohit, we have seen multiple losses like this, where once the match starts going away, our shoulders, yeah, drop. Okay, and for this, yeah, means he's absolutely right. Okay, and yes, and somebody like Maxwell saying that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, who is not known for staying, and he was bloody dropped 3 times, and then he got in his mind that now he has to stay and hit every couple of overs. Okay, so okay, so this is the kind of bullshit you expect from Australia, but you
Yeah,
have to respect them for that, right? So they won the match versus Australia. So they won the match versus Afghanistan. They went into Narendra Modi Stadium and defeated India. They went home with the World Cup. What can you say? What can you say? Right. Okay. So only thing which you can say is, okay, yeah, means I will ensure that I keep beating you the next time. Okay, yeah, that's the only thing which you can say, because he's right, right? So we might feel bad, you might feel it's a slur. I feel very okay, agitated. And anybody of India's rivals, okay, starting from England to Pakistan to Bangladesh, as soon as they hear this, they would, yeah, yeah, so they would start snickering as well. Okay, we know India does that, and this is right. Okay, he means Australia has made us lose matches like this. He has personally hit out Chahal and Kuldeep in some matches in the past, right? So he's right there, and the only thing which we can do about this is to take revenge. Okay, and not actually and actually not terminating their IPL contracts, okay, or do shit like this. Okay, we have to beat them on the field, and at the moment it has become a bit like Barcelona and Real Madrid. Okay,
yeah,
Barcelona knows Real Madrid cannot be touched, and here Australia are 6 times champion, India 2 times. They have beaten us on on the big occasions. Okay, so one of the examples is they came to India for Border Gavaskar Trophy, lost it, then played the WTC final and won it.
on it. Absolutely.
Nothing
And
can be
and
said. And he's right. He's right. He's absolutely right.
absolutely, and there's a sense of inevitability, I mean, today morning when I woke up, I got this text from one of my uncles. He said that, and the text, again, I'm just reading it out. The text says that, wow, at 32 for 3, chasing 149, is it Glenn Maxwell's turn again to save Australia's blushes?
You shared
And
this message. Yeah.
yeah, and the only thing that I replied was, and again, quote unquote, I just said that hopefully lightning doesn't strike twice. And thankfully it did not. And this is, I mean, unbelievable. I mean, at one point it looked, the way Maxwell and Stoinis were playing, it seemed like that they would take it away, and Afghanistan's inexperience was just showing up a little bit. But eventually, I mean, fantastic, kudos the way, hats off to the way Afghanistan held on to their nerves. And that wicket, I mean, unbelievable spell. I think they should put a statue in of Gulbuddin Naib in wherever they want in Afghanistan, but he has
Okay.
done it. I mean, if there's one dream spell that you could bowl in your cricketing lifetime, Gulbuddin Naib has done it today.
Yeah, yeah,
Unbelievable.
Miss, I'm sure that Naif won't be able to bowl that spell again.
Again, absolutely, he won't be. But anyway, I think fair few. But again, so this, since cricket, we only have two groups, and I can't let you go away without putting you in the spot. I have to get your predictions in. India versus Australia, and I'll take it match by match. Okay, India versus Australia. You will
Yeah.
put your you will put your head where your heart is. India wins.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
India wins. So that means we are telling that Australia stays on two, and then Afghanistan versus Bangladesh. You're fancying Afghanistan to win if I have not taken you, I mean, got you wrong, right?
Not
That's what
absolutely. Yeah.
you fancy.
Afghanistan, yeah.
So then basically we are saying Super 8 finishes, Group 1 finishes, India on top,
India, Afghanistan.
Afghanistan second. That's a huge prediction, and that just casts my mind back to the conversation we had a few weeks back. Did you have Afghanistan in your semi-final predictions? The
Oh,
last time we
absolutely
spoke
not.
in YouTube,
Absolutely not.
maybe
But
maybe not even Super 8, maybe not even Super 8, but
maybe not even Super 8. But it has gotten me, yeah, means it has gotten me worried again. Thinking so much is on stake versus Australia. Okay. So, okay,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so let's
let's
see.
hope
Let's
let's
see. Yeah, let's see
let's
what
hope
happens.
for the best. Okay, so last group of discussion, we have covered 7 out of 8 groups combining Euro and cricket. This is the last one, and this is the one in which we have a match starting, I think, 3.5 hours from now, 8:30 or 8 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
England,
whatever.
USA, yeah.
Yeah, England US.
Hmm.
Again, humdinger of a situation. Beautiful pot boiler. England facing. So but I feel very sad looking at this graphic, Shilajit, because it is so very unfortunate that in spite of the way this group is transpired, it is probably disadvantage South Africa. I have written advantage England, but it's South Africa who would feel the most cornered in the situations that they are right now, because they
It
would
is of
think
their
that,
own doing.
yeah,
I
but
would tell you,
what
I'll
else
tell
can
you.
you do? You have played 2 matches and won 2 matches.
I would tell what, yeah, they could do. Yeah, means have they thrashed an opponent. Okay, they won versus who? They won versus
USA
okay,
and
England.
USA and England.
Okay, so they won versus England. They won versus USA. Have they thrashed an opponent? No. Okay, but I think I echo your feeling what South Africa would be feeling. So do you remember that instance when okay, so Balotelli scored for City and he brought his T-shirt up and there was one message there. Okay, do you remember the message? It
No,
it it was why always me. Okay, and
how is it?
with a question mark. So he was asking
Yeah,
why is he always put on the spot. South Africa
that's
would be
South Africa.
feeling the same. And the most interesting thing here is, if South Africa they lose to West Indies, okay, they might be going out after having stayed okay unbeaten, and they might be going out to teams who have lost multiple matches in the World Cup. Okay, they have lost multiple matches. Still, they would be going through. But that's the thing. If you find USA, India were able to smash Afghanistan and Bangladesh. If you cannot smash out USA out of the park, so that your run rate, yeah, miss, you just look at West Indies run rate 1.8 after losing a match.
Agreed, Shilajit. But I think what I don't agree with you over here is that West Indies had the comfort of playing USA in the second match, where they knew that they had to beat USA or thrash USA by a good margin, right? So that
Agreed.
is because they had already lost the match against, I think,
England.
England. They had lost against England, so they knew they had to do it. For South Africa, it was the first match of the Super 8 and first match on from both groups combined. So but again, I also echo what, or I also understand what you are trying to say, that probably you have to be ruthless in these kind of tournaments, especially when you have had such luck before, right? So that's always
That's the
plays.
thing.
but
Because,
but I
yeah,
would be,
mhm.
just to complete, I would be heartbroken, Chilajit, if tomorrow morning we wake up to those scenes similar to that 2015 semi-final against New Zealand, or it would be absolutely, I mean,
2007
I
match
would
India
not
South
what the
Africa.
world wanted.
Okay, in the
Sorry.
2007 match, India South Africa, South Africa had to lose by a margin. Okay, to go into the semi-finals. Okay, and they were not able to even meet that margin. It is like my school days. Okay, when my mom used to say that even if you score 75, it is good. I used to score 72. Okay, so the same thing. Okay, where South Africa had to they had to lose by 25 runs, but they lost by 35 runs. The same scenario is here, but I think we are not going to hear news. We both are going to be up tomorrow. I think we should try for that
Yeah,
to
yeah,
see what
we
the
both
hell
are
is
going to be
happening.
up now. Yeah, but although I would want West Indies and South Africa both to qualify from this group, but I do not see that happening probably with the way things stand, and that's why I have written in one of my key points that it's probably advantage England because they are playing USA. They know that a fairly reasonable win will make sure that they go through to the semi-finals, and that's huge considering they were at the mercy of the mighty Aussies just a few days back, right? So from there
They,
now,
yeah, yeah. So they were at the mercy of Scotland also. Okay, so okay, okay. I mean, they have seen such dark days that they were hoping Scotland. Yeah, they were hoping Scotland actually loses to Australia, which is very
yeah, correct,
yeah, very
correct,
likely to
correct.
happen. Anyway, yeah, yeah,
But
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 unfair
unbelievable.
is unfair. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a little bit, but that's how tournament play goes. That's how things
No, so it is
unravel.
like yeah, yeah. Means if you're South Africa, if you are marked up, you know that you are going to face England and West Indies later. You have to take advantage of this. Okay, it is like India facing. Yeah, I mean India faced the opposite thing in the 2021 T20 World Cup where they faced Pakistan, New Zealand first. They had to ensure you have to win one of those matches. Okay,
Absolutely.
there is no use of mourning when you beat Namibia, Scotland, and Afghanistan and say that, okay, we won last three, but we were out. Same for Australia last T20 World Cup. You have to win the match which you have to win. And here it is opposite. So you face an easy team and you struggle to a win. Okay, so that is not the best thing. And, they knew that England is going to have this advantage going in. Okay, so maybe they, okay, it is one of those umpteen scenarios which finally unfold for South Africa to knock them out of a World Cup. Okay, now they are going to face something new. Okay, so a lot of things
No,
can
it's
happen.
not
A
happening.
lot
It's
of things.
not happening tomorrow. It's not happening tomorrow. By the way, just looking at the table, staring at the table, I know we discussed about Bangladesh in the previous group. Something similar, at least theoretically, is still possible for USA. Okay, so just looking at the possibilities because they can, if they
Look at
somehow manage to
the
upset,
table.
yeah,
Look at the
if they
table.
somehow theoretically that's still a possibility that is there. But again, just coming to a close of the discussion, unless you have any other points
Yeah, yeah.
about the
So
group.
I just have one thing which I wanted to tell that okay, so USA are the use case of why we should have knockouts after an initial league stage. Yeah, so like we talked about a few days back, that if USA were facing South Africa, West Indies, or England in a one-off
Knockout
match,
match.
okay, they would have fancied themselves. But to
And
know
they
that we
almost
have
ran
to
South
win
Africa
two out of three
close.
matches, tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And that's what we are saying. I mean, so USA almost. I mean, had in that match Harmeet Singh and who's the other guy? I think Richard Goes or something.
Yeah,
I don't
goes.
know the
Yeah, so
pronunciation.
they're opener. They're opener. Yeah.
Their opener, and incidentally, he's also from, I think, has South African roots. But basically,
Yeah.
had they held on for a little while, it could have been curtains for South Africa in that match, and USA could have been on the brink of something historic. Who knows? But absolutely, I think ICC needs to take note of this. I think right now, this tournament, this World Cup is a huge eye opener for the fact that we can have a 16, 20 nation World Cup tournament at least in T20. I mean, there's absolutely scope for that, and we just need to make sure that we give this smaller teams the right amount of exposure, platform, and things so that they grow from strength to strength.
Yeah,
That
but
is there.
Sir, I think what I have really liked, I think you have pointed out that teams like Uganda and PSG, so not
PNG.
PSG, PNG, okay, coming in has made it a bit weaker, and where teams like Zimbabwe were not able to qualify. But I think it always helps, like the Football World Cup, it always helps to have regional quota. So that we would know that
Absolutely.
where India knows in football that they have to face only Asia and they don't have to beat Italy, Germany to go, right? So yeah, that is somewhere good, but I really, really hope that we don't take down the number of teams. I think for the
I
next
hope so.
T20 World Cup, we are at 20, and it should only go up. It should
It
only
should
go up,
only go. It
hopefully.
should only
But I
go up.
think one more thing I would like to call out is you are hoping Afghanistan has a 1983 like run. Here you are backing South Africa, okay, which okay, yeah, they are one of your semi-finalists. Okay, then we know that South Africa and West Indies are at loggerheads. Okay, so one of them are going to go through, and I think they were both your semi-finalist
Correct.
options,
Yeah.
right?
Predicted
So okay,
semi-finalists.
so yeah, so there might be a chance that you are hoping for everyone to win. Okay, so you might have
No, no.
seen that.
I'll tell you what I want. I
Yeah.
want a India versus. I want a India versus West Indies and Afghanistan versus South Africa semi-final lineup. That's what I want. Or I mean or rather not going into the matchups. I don't know how in what equation West Indies finishes first. Basically, I want USA to upset England today, and then uh, yeah, West Indies beat South
India to beat
Africa, but
Australia
both
and
of
Afghanistan to beat Bangladesh.
oh, yeah, both beat West Indies beat South Africa, but both of them go through. That's what I want. But you have turned the tables. It's my job to ask you what's your prediction in terms of England versus USA again. Uh, common sense
England versus USA,
points.
England versus USA, there is not a single scenario where I see that they might,
USA.
they, yeah, they might be actually susceptible or vulnerable. The only place is if England's okay, yeah, the fourth and fifth bowler are bowling to Aaron Jones, right? So it is a really niche kind of scenario. Other than that, I think England are going to absolutely blow away USA, but hopefully, yeah, hopefully USA are going to do anything. Yeah, I mean they are able to do something. But to call out, you cannot call USA are going to win against England, and they
Correct.
are the defending champions. No, absolutely no
Absolutely.
chance. Okay, the only
And
thing you hope is if Moeen Ali is bowling to Aaron Jones, like I told. Okay, yeah, which is going to be rare.
no, but the more difficult one, the trickier one. Who are
South
you calling
Africa,
for?
West Indies.
Yeah.
South Africa, West Indies. I'm going to just put a leg out, and I'm going to call West Indies. I won't mind seeing South Africa choke another time. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, no. But yeah.
Hmm.
By the way, do you know? I mean, do you know that unlike in the ODI format, in T20, never has a host nation won the T20 World Cup. In fact, it's been only once that the host nation has
Yeah, has
reached
made
the
the final.
finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So they
that
have
I
never, none of the host countries have ever won. So West Indies, I think realistically, although both West Indies and USA are hosts, but West Indies have a realistic chance of probably breaking that jinx. But uh,
but you
let's see.
tell me one thing that in ODI, when did the host win? Yeah, the first time. Yeah, was it India in
No,
of
no, I think
2011?
it's 96 Sri Lanka. Or yeah,
Oh, okay.
96 Sri Lanka
96, they were the co-hosts.
co-hosts.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
but the full host was
Full
India.
host,
No, India was
that
also
was
the
also
co-host only in 2011, right?
full
They
host, I
played
think.
Sri Lanka and
Yeah.
Bangladesh also.
Yeah. I think full host. Yeah, even 15 is Australia, New Zealand. 19 is the first time full host England.
Full host, but yeah, but if if we take it with the major host, and if the team played final in their home, yeah, then it is 2011.
Then
Right?
yeah,
They played
11.
final at Wankhede. But since you just call it out, okay, so if South Africa go through, South Africa are okay, very good team, and they are one of the most balanced team in this World Cup. But if West Indies go through, then it's the home team, right? So it is, yeah, I mean, it is very tough to call. Yeah, but here I'm like I told that I'm going to stick my arm out because on talent, South Africa are winning this match. The only thing which is going to make it entertaining is them choking. Okay, so that's why I call West Indies.
Let's see. And I think this
Yeah,
South Africa West Indies is right upon us, right? It's probably 12 hours from now in which the
yeah, it is
match
12 hours
begins.
now.
6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Okay, so fantastic, Shilajit. I think ball of a time. I don't know.
Oh,
We
yes.
have we have played out a football match 90 minutes and some extra time. I think so. The timer reads 1 hour
98 minutes,
38
right?
minutes.
Yeah.
So beautiful. I think I love the discussion. One for the archives, definitely,
Absolutely.
and absolutely looking forward. I know the England match starts in some time. Then the Euro Group A final two matches. Then tomorrow morning. So just before I let you go, you're planning to watch Germany tonight in action, and then wake up to South Africa West Indies, or you're giving Euros a miss?
Germany is going to be very okay. So tough to see seeing these matches because I want to ensure that I
Peace of
see
love.
tomorrow's match at 6 a.m. Right? Because anyway, cricket is where our heart lies. Okay, so
Yeah,
enough of German and all those things. That is okay. South Africa, West Indies, I don't want to miss.
you
I
cannot
even have
afford to
in
miss.
mind, like I mentioned to you, right? Monday and Thursday are now booked mark. Okay, for a morning. Okay, get up. Okay, so we get up
Morning
at
show.
6 o'clock,
Yeah,
see the match Monday and Thursday. Okay, the one thing which I would still like to say is that since it is the last league match in Euro, okay, they are going to be very ardently watched by whoever wants to stay. Okay, so those matches are also really close, like we called out at the start of our means at the start of our video. But being your guest, I'm going to maybe tell that I'm going to just have half an eye on those matches and then try to sleep because I don't want to miss
and
South Africa in this tomorrow.
then fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fantastic, Shilajit. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think, as always,
That's right. So,
pleasure.
thank you. Yes, thank you for inviting me again. Yeah,
Absolutely. I
thank
mean,
you so much.
pleasure talking to you as always. And like I said, I mean, the last 1.5 hours has breezed past. So thank you very much. And hopefully we continue. I mean, we will obviously continue watching the games and keep enjoying it. But
Yeah, so
to
for us,
everyone,
for us, the way it is. We are going to go off YouTube and go on to WhatsApp, right? So that is
yeah,
how smooth out. Yeah, miss, yeah,
transition is.
how smooth our conversation is going to be. Okay, but for YouTube, I think this is that.
This is it, and this is where we look back and say, okay, we discussed this. Yeah,
Yeah,
2 months down the line. But yeah, thank you, Shilajit. Thank you so much.
yeah,
Thank you
that's right.
once
Yes.
again, and
Yeah, thank
let's
you.
catch up probably sometime very soon over
Spain,
YouTube.
Spain.
Oh, is it
Spain.
okay? Is
Yeah.
that the jersey?
No, no, it's not a
It's
jersey.
not a
That's
jersey.
why
It's
I'm
just
not
a
showing
color.
below. But you're right.
Okay, okay. Spade, and you can also give it to half of India's shoulder, right? I mean, similar colors now.
Oh, half of India.
India's
Anyway. Okay, Sagar.
anyway.
So,
Yeah,
Sagar, it has been great. So we have spent some quality time, and hopefully we have been able to analyze. Means
absolutely,
each of these fixtures, and hopefully they then meet our predictions as well. Okay, so let us hope
absolutely,
for
and
that.
that would be very interesting to keep an eye on. Absolutely.
Anyway, Sagar. Yeah. Okay, then thank you so
Okay,
much.
yeah. Thank you, Shilajit. Thanks for joining in. We'll end the stream. Thank you, and see you again soon, very soon. Bye bye. Have a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah, that's right. Thank you so much. Bye bye.